Swift like to win.
Yeah, 4-0. Nothing other than No Cap Shorty.
And this is the I Don't Know Shit podcast. How y'all been, man? What y'all been up to?
Man, relaxing, man. Chilling, man. Just got back from Arizona, actually, man. You know?
How was that? How baby girl?
Oh, it was hot. It was hot, huh?
Extremely hot, bro. Extremely hot, you know what I'm saying? But it was actually really cool, man. I had a good time, you know what I'm saying? Got to see my baby girl.
She big as shit. I know she big.
Yeah,
you still
man.
never showed me the pictures, bro.
I will, you know what I'm saying, you know? But yeah, I had a good time, man, you know? Nice little flight and everything.
It was probably empty too, wasn't it?
I had my own row, man, both times, you know, there and back, you know what I'm saying? That shit was
lucky.
Hey, that shit was cool, though. Real shit. Real shit. It was
I would have been stretched out that
Oh,
bitch.
my mama, But I got one of the little pillows and shit. That shit don't work, bro. That shit, I got a crook in my head.
Hey, bro,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, so bro, with the like, how you know how fucking shit always involving and shit. So I got a pillow now. Mine, it got a spot for my big ass headphones to like rest in it.
Oh, see, that's another thing.
And they go up higher.
I had my beats and I had to keep doing like this. I'm like, oh man, you know, where my earbuds and stuff, you know.
Mine got a spot for my headphones to rest in.
Right, nice. That's what's up.
What about you, Harry? I mean, for you've been in the studio. Huh?
In there.
Getting it.
Cooking up work.
Hey, that's what's up.
Hey. In there.
What are you working on? EP?
All types
Mixtape?
of what you want? What
The
you got?
album?
I got everything.
Got everything. Singles, EPs, albums,
I take pennies, dimes, nickels, doing everything. I'm just cooking up, staying out the way, man.
That's good.
Nice,
That's
This
what you do.
coronavirus, man. We're trying to get over it, you know.
What the fuck you mean get over it?
Oh wait, you caught that?
Get up. What?
You mean get like we
What
going
do you
over the
mean?
mountain?
I'm
Over the
out the way.
mountaintop. He mean going over the mountaintop, right? You mean
How y'all so aggressive?
But hey, I call he's like, I'm trying to get over the corona. Wait, what? Like, wait,
We
what?
gotta get the fuck
Let me
out.
take this mask off. Y'all try to play me with this mask.
He said, hey,
You the one that chose to put that shit on.
yeah, I see why he put it on.
Right.
Corona.
All right.
Coronavirus.
This shit is real.
That's funny. All right, we here today for one of our episodes, and it's the vegan episode. So we have a special guest on. We have Miss Tiffany here.
Welcome.
Hey.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
No problem. Actually, she is my wife's friend. We first met, I remember my wife told me, she was like, I have a friend coming here for college. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Like, what are we going to do? We're going to go out to, she's like, we're going to go out to dinner. She's like, but she's vegan, so we have to find a vegan restaurant. I was like, the fuck? Fuck this lady. Like, what are you doing? We gotta go. We gotta go find a whole restaurant specifically for her. Like, hell no, bro. This is
I see
lame.
y'all when y'all get back.
What's the difference between vegan and a vegetarian?
Right. Like, she can't just find something on the menu. French fries vegan.
Most of the time.
That's how I felt. But so we ended up going to this place. I think it's like downtown Gresham. It was like
a Mediterranean place, I think.
It was all right. I didn't really like it that much. My experience was
either.
that's
like
good.
it.
No, I didn't like it. I like my experience either. It wasn't the best.
Oh man.
Oh.
What was that?
I don't. So, maybe I'm tripping. Do you remember?
Refresh my memory. What are you referring to?
All right. So when we were there, when we first went there, the menu. First of all, the menu doesn't have pictures, and it was written in Arabic. But then underneath it had like the description of it, right?
I don't remember anything.
Love, am I making? Am I?
You got about the food.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so I asked the gentleman. I was trying to figure out what the heck was on the menu. I was trying to understand like what it was, and the guy was basically like, "You have the menu right in front of you," and I was like, "Yeah, I know, but like can you explain it?" And he was like, basically like, "No, you have the menu." He comes and sits this woman right next to me. She asked him the same exact question, and he literally breaks down the menu item by item for her.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't remember?
I don't remember. Well, this was probably almost 4 years ago now.
You're absolutely right. It was a long time ago. I have really good memory though.
I thought this was yesterday.
Nah, bro. Nah, I'm just talking
Oh, you made this. Oh.
Like, ain't no restaurants open.
Man, I thought y'all were yesterday.
True.
Nah, ain't no restaurants open.
Well, he meant yesterday, like when the restaurants were open. Then, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
it's been about 3 months.
It was a minute ago, but that was the first time. Like, I don't know, I had like a vegan experience, and I fucking did not like.
See, that's That's irritating because that wasn't even vegan. That
It
was
was
Mediterranean.
Whoa. It was my experience associated with.
So what is Mediterranean food then?
It's like that-
vegan food?
No, that's like a.
No, I mean, it's a cultural food. It's
Right.
easier to make cultural, like more ethnic food
Middle
vegan.
Eastern?
Usually. So usually I try to like accommodate people. It's like a good middle ground for people who aren't vegan.
Apparently it wasn't.
I didn't like the food either. I don't think I have a good memory of eating there, but I don't remember why. I think we waited a really long time.
what
to
is
do
it?
it.
So the Mediterranean.
Yeah, and we rated outside.
So
Yeah.
so basically, Mediterranean is the gateway drug for that, you know, right?
It
That's
can
basically
be.
what it sounds like.
It
Like
can be.
that's the gateway drug. You know?
It can be.
All right, so I wanted you to. I wanted to go around. All right, well, we kind of already introduced ourselves, but I wanted to do an icebreaker before we kind of like got into everything, and I wanted to go around and everybody to say like, if you could be an X-Men, which one would you be and why?
Okay.
All right, I'll start off. If I could be an X-Men, Kiara calling me.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm about to answer it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Oh.
Hey, we in the middle of recording. What's up, sis?
I was just making sure we still on for today.
Nigga, are you still on for today?
That was $1.
Yes.
Oh damn! All right, well you on this recording right now. You want to ask something to our vegan guest?
That's usually
What is
the
vegan? Right? Like, what is vegan? What is vegan?
Okay.
You on air, girl?
None of what I'm saying is gonna be explicit.
Oh. Well,
Just saying, you always have to eat meat. You sick.
oh,
What's that?
she said. She said, if you don't eat meat, do you still indulge in oral sex?
Oh, I haven't heard that one before. Yes.
Whoa!
That's classic.
Whoa!
That's classic.
There.
Yay.
What?
Yay.
That's how I'm coming out there.
All right, come on, we gonna be here. Hurry up.
Alright.
All right, bye.
I kind of still want to know that.
I definitely want. Okay, is that? No, we're not. No.
I was like,
No.
That was from a female, so
Right, so
it's not. Hey, for a disclaimer, that was a female that asked that question. That was not us trying to.
Yeah, that would have been different coming from you.
I'm kind
But
of
she
glad.
was asked. I'm like,
I mean,
knowledge. Knowledge. I don't know shit.
Heart attack.
Like, I don't know shit.
This shit got me sweating, man.
take
I don't know shit.
I'm sorry. I think I'm sorry. I don't know. I wasn't expecting her to ask that.
I mean, what do you think the answer is?
I mean, that's not consuming meat and you're not killing animals, so I would assume that has nothing to do with not being vegan,
Right.
Okay.
Bingo.
is what I would say.
Yeah, me too. I think I'll take a look at that.
Right.
Put on mimosa, by the way.
Well, in that case, back to our program. If you could be an X-Man for a day, which one would you be? I would be Professor X. I'd be in the motherfucking wheelchair.
Wheelchair.
I like
Okay.
thinking already,
Okay.
and if I could like read minds and like control shit.
You trying to control it?
He tried-
Nigga, boy, I would be good though.
Right.
I wouldn't use it for like manipulation. I don't think. I think I would use it for like the greater good of like what I felt.
When Professor X kind of good, he was cool. Wasn't he?
Yeah, he was good, but he was like Martin Luther King. I'm not saying Martin Luther King was bad, but
No, we
he was.
already.
Yeah,
talked
you know
about
how I
that.
feel
Yeah,
about
we
that.
ain't
I'm not
we
with
ain't
that
doing
whole
that.
like.
We ain't doing that.
I
man.
feel like it's great to be peaceful, but I'm not with the whole like idea of like being submissive and
Right.
like turning the other
Right.
cheek. Like
Right.
there's
Yeah.
only so much of that bullshit
Right.
before.
Right,
Like
right,
nigga, you
right.
slap me, I'm
Hey,
slapping
I'm
you,
slapping
your
you back,
mama,
nigga.
and
Yeah,
your
you're right.
grandmama, nigga.
Actually, I might
might have to slap you first, nigga. Actually, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little nigga, so I might have to slap you first, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I ain't
So for me, I don't know if I would be able to deal with that much power because I think he was like the most powerful one. I think, but I think I would be him. What about you?
So listen, I've never watched anything X-Men, so I
Oh,
have no
really?
fucking
Oh,
idea any of them.
damn.
But I like what you said though.
Yeah?
I think that's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
Mastermind.
Oh, sorry. Elaborate.
No. Just mastermind, manipulation.
Yeah.
You like to play mind games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that
I don't want to be Professor X, but I can play mind games.
is that a Tiffany thing or a woman thing?
I think it's a woman thing.
Okay. Honest answer. Okay.
Yeah.
I can take that. What about you, Breeze?
I would want to be Wolverine, honestly.
Oh, that nigga can't die.
I would, and plus he was always the coolest one.
Wait, no, but I think he ended up dying though eventually.
I don't know, but he branched out and got his own shit too though, so I would want to be Wolverine.
Yeah.
So
He
it's
was
like a business.
Yeah, I'm still an X-Man, but I got my own shit too, you know what I'm saying?
funny. Like he's talking about, I got like you like the Drake of Young Money,
You know,
huh?
like, hey, Young Money, man, OEO, all that shit, you know?
Yeah, you got your own shit.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
All right,
but I
fuck
still
with it.
rap. Yeah.
What about you, Thor? If you could be an X-Man,
I
there's
only seen a couple. I
Alright,
have to
so
be that
there-
one
so
female
there's-
that can change into the all the people.
what is her name?
Only one, I don't know,
She like a
Wolverine.
lizard.
No, she blue.
Yeah, she be changing.
I
She
know
changing
we-
to everybody.
I know
I
he-
do that.
I know-
I
I know
with
what
everybody.
Morphing everybody and shit. Yeah.
But you would have to be a girl to do that though. You okay with that?
I can morph in.
You can morph in anything.
Everybody got one to morph in.
But at the end of the day, you're still a female though.
You trying to put me in that?
You trying to
put me in that basket?
Look, nigga, he said, no, if I could be anyone, I'm the motherfucker that can do this, nigga. I know who I am. Quit trying to put me in this box.
Don't put me in that box. God damn it, I'm finna mutate, nigga. I'm riding bakes, I'm doing all type of shit.
Right.
What you about?
He said, I can morph into anything.
That is fucking funny. I probably shouldn't say that in 2020.
Why?
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't be saying that, huh?
That's fine.
But whatever.
It is what it is.
I mean, I don't think nobody offended by that. You know what I'm saying? We don't mean no harm.
No.
No, but I think it was.
They laugh at us sometimes, shit. They laugh at us, shit.
So the idea of the podcast is to like learn, kind of step outside of your box, and kind of gain knowledge about shit you like wouldn't actually do on like a normal day. So there's different things that we set up, and like I said, today's about veganism. And so we went out and we found different facts that we thought, or at least it said, were vegan. So we kind of wanted to put like a little twist on it and kind of make it interactive. So my love's gonna read off the fact, and at the end of the fact, if you can, with the three of us, say what? All right.
Okay.
So after that, we gonna rap about it. All right.
Okay.
Alright, so fact number 1. Each year, 198 animals are saved per vegan diet.
Say what? Is
It's
that true?
actually at least double that.
More?
More?
Okay.
Okay, so about 500.
Why? How? Like, how? So how does that save the animals?
I mean, it's supply and demand. If no one's demanding the eating of the animals.
But my thing is like if you have a slaughterhouse, regardless if no one's buying it or not, you still got a process of like which animals are coming in and which animals are like going out. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I feel like they're still dying. Like,
But not as many now. Even from 5 years ago, there are less now dying than there were when I even went vegan.
is that because of the economy, or is that because less people are eating vegan?
More people are vegan now.
I do agree that more people are vegan now.
Yeah.
Why?
People are talking about it, like me. That's all I can fucking talk about.
I mean, but I can hear you talk about vegan all day long. I'm still gonna go eat me some fucking meat. I love corn.
Sure, a lot of
No
people-
offense.
No,
No
On the
offense.
side.
I'm gonna get me some corn asada. I'm
See,
gonna get me
you
some
know what?
meat,
You know what's
some
funny
shit, you know?
is like on the other side is like. So when me and my wife went on this like health journey, like that was our goal. It was to end up going vegan, but we cut out red meat and we cut out pork, and we got really good results. So I was like, fuck the bullshit. Like, I can still eat chicken, I can still eat my fried catfish and shit. Like, hell yeah. Like.
But imagine if you were to cut everything. I mean, it depends. It's like, I'm not asking every single person to go vegan.
Correct.
It's like.
But why would I want to do that though? My question is, why would I want to do that?
Well, for me personally, the reason I went vegan was because I saw some shit that I couldn't unsee, and it was like deeply upsetting to me. So for you, you would have to make that connection.
So, can I ask what you saw?
The slaughter of certain animals and just the way they're raised. I think a lot of people have in their minds that it's sort of this humane, clean experience, and it's pretty evil from the conception until they're killed.
But who's to say that the vegan meat or sandwich I'm about to eat is not done the same way or something? I mean, who's to say that?
Because there's no animals in it.
I mean, so you say.
Well, I mean, yeah, we have to assume a lot of things.
We have to assume a lot of things, right? So, I mean, I would assume that a person would go vegan to lose weight and everything, right? Or, you know.
I don't assume that. That might be your experience, but I don't.
No, I don't. If I lose
We don't know
anyway. I'm gonna disappear if I lose some fucking weight. Well, that's why I'm like, I don't want to be a vegan. I want to eat meat. You know what I'm saying?
So that's interesting because have you seen the movie The Game Changers?
I don't think so.
Okay, you should check that out because it's not about losing weight. There are a ton of athletes now that are going plant-based so they can gain muscle.
Me and wifey actually ended up watching that, and so like it's a really great movie, and so it was a guy that was he was in like special ops in the military or some shit like that. He was like special forces. And he trained people how to do
badass dude
combat, and like he was like he ended up going to like Ultimate Fighter and ended up doing the UFC and ended up winning, and then after that he ended up blowing out his knees. And so he was like, man, I need to get back to like training. I need to get back to my flow of shit. So basically, he did a bunch of research and figured out like how he could possibly get back to the way he was in the quickest time. And so while he was also doing that research, he eventually ultimately ended up finding out that veganism is like the best result. And so when he was doing his whole rehab, he was going and visiting different people all across the world. There was like a power lifter.
So you can't just eat regular and work out and still
that's
maintain the same calories and the same
I think we should also distinguish between plant-based and vegan.
Right,
absolutely.
Those are different.
They can be the same, but not always.
All right, well let's go with the next fact, and we'll get into that when we got the questions, because we have a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
So we should give the next fact, and then we'll keep rolling.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright, so the next one is anemia can result from a vegan diet, as iron deficiency can be a result of cutting out meat products.
Say what?
Oh shit.
Okay.
So there's so many stupid things that I hear that I just can't. So women are already more susceptible to iron deficiency just because we bleed 12 times a year. So everyone needs to be paying attention to that regardless. If you're eating a proper plant-based diet, just like anything else, like if you're not doing it right, there's going to be issues. So you just have to pay attention, work with your doctor. I've had zero issue with that, and I haven't talked to my doctor about that specifically, so.
Well, I can't really argue with that. I don't know anything about that shit.
I don't know either.
And I'm not a woman, and I don't bleed, so I can't really tell you you're wrong.
That's just statistically women. Yeah.
You kind of took us out when you kind of like stated facts that we can't.
Yeah, I was like, done. I got a lot.
We can't really comment on any of that, so we
can't believe Trump. I said, yeah, I can't.
Well, there goes that part of this conversation.
I'm not saying that like any one of you couldn't be iron deficient, but
No.
Like,
what I'm saying is like I feel like when women say facts about women, who the fuck am I as a man to be like, well, blah 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 blah. Right? You know what I mean? Like.
yeah.
So like for me, it's like, well, okay.
I'll
take that one.
You definitely separated us, didn't you? Okay, you just divided us.
Yeah, but it's like honestly, it's just like anything else. If you do it wrong, You can have any kind of deficiency, like vitamin D deficiency is a thing.
I feel like a lot of people here in Oregon have a lot of vitamin D deficiency because we don't got no fucking sun. We get like maybe 3 to 4 months of sun, maybe.
Yeah, so all you gotta do is adjust the way you live your life, adjust the things that you eat according to the vitamins that you need.
So one thing that I brought up in the movie, it was like when you like see like animals, like some of the biggest animals in the world don't eat meat. Gorillas don't eat meat. Giraffes don't eat meat. Like all the biggest, some of the strongest animals.
Wait, gorillas don't eat meat?
Nah, bro. I mean, I'm sure they'll eat your ass.
Those primates.
Nah, nigga, you
know that.
You take your ass out in the jungle if you fucking want to and see them they eat your ass.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, wait, gorillas? No. Okay, the giraffe eat some grass.
I mean, I guess some bananas and apples and shit. That's what they be eating.
They eat trees.
Yeah,
like plants
and like leaves off it.
But
Okay, so they won't eat it. They just mauled us.
Fuck your ass.
Fuck. What's worse?
I'm sure they'd try you. You different. You new. Like I mean, like depending on what kind of gorilla it is, that you probably think that you killed their fucking great uncle or some shit. So they might try to really fuck you up.
Damn, you took it deep.
I'm just saying.
You really thinking like that?
I think been watching Planet of the Apes.
That's Tarzan.
I'm
Planet
just
of the Apes
saying.
shit right there, man. Caesar boom.
You guys are retarded.
Shout out to the directors for that.
God damn.
So, like I said before, the point of this podcast is like learn. So we also learn to incorporate the part of the a segment called the melting pot. And the melting pot is basically where we get together with different people and basically combine different minds and different perspectives and different ideas. And so we all, once again, Wifey went and found a couple facts or stories from online, and we wanted to. So she's gonna be our little news reporter, and she's gonna tell us about the facts. And so when she was telling me about these, before she even starts, I kind of feel like, for me, this is like negligence. For me, this has nothing to do with like veganism. In my perspective, it's like it almost seems like somebody that doesn't like the idea of veganism, so they found a story.
There are a lot of fucking people like that.
And like they found, it's like the news, like they found a story and tried to like attach it to it, and it was like, this is the cause of vegan diets. For me, it's like, nah, this is a cause of like a whack ass parent, a fucking deadbeat ass mom.
Okay.
But
Can we hear the story?
Yeah, shit. She said, shut the fuck up. All right, yes, ma'am.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, I just wanted to give you my point of. I just don't want you don't want you to hear this and be like, oh, you think this is what vegan is?
No, I understand the point.
No.
Okay. In 2007, a vegan couple were given life sentences after their 6-week-old baby died of starvation. They fed the baby a diet of organic apple juice and soy milk. They were found guilty of murder, manslaughter, and child neglect. In 2011, a French vegan couple were charged with child neglect after their 11-month-old baby died from vitamin deficiencies. As a result, many people object to forcing children to keep a vegan diet.
Okay.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Wow.
You're looking at me real accusatory right now. Like, I want to kill the baby.
No.
That's why now do you see what I said?
No, I'm like.
I have a lot of things to say
baffled.
about that.
But now do you see I gave my disclaimer before?
Sure, yeah,
I
totally.
am baffled.
I do not.
So,
Sorry.
we don't know all the circumstances. I remember hearing about this, and we don't know the details of anything else going on, so it's hard for me to even, like...
For me, it doesn't sound like...
What if they gave the baby apple juice and fucking regular milk and the baby died? Soy milk and real milk is like the distinguishing factor here. I think the article is trying to make, and that's not really fair. Because there's a huge story.
So how can they determine starvation if they did feed the baby organic apple juice and soy milk? You know, how can they determine starvation?
I don't know. I don't know what the whole story is.
So
If they're not...
So for me, basically what I took from it, so like, when you have a child, love, we can hear everything you're doing.
Oh.
I can hear.
I can.
No. I don't have the same
me, when I heard this, it kind of like it's not, like you said. I don't feel like it's fair because it doesn't make sense. Like if a baby's not fed enough, that has nothing to do with it being on a vegan diet or not.
Right, and we don't hear all the stories, well, we probably hear some, where the baby and the family were not vegan and that child died of neglect. So people are like cherry picking stories a lot of times, like make a point about veganism, when it really, I mean, the parents probably admitted to being vegan, and then it was like, it kind of blew up to this thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you think we all could just get along?
So
Like the veganism and the people who eat meat, can we just all just live accordingly? Just like you guys do you, and then they should do them, and it should be no problem.
you can.
Yeah, I don't see it that plainly, I guess, because there are victims involved. And there are victims
So-
involved.
But we talking about the animals.
But you talking about, well, we could be talking about the kids.
Sure.
So I mean, it goes both. I mean, not we. I'm sorry, not we. Them.
Yeah, come on, bro. Leave her alone, bro.
I ain't protesting with them.
Yeah.
I'm just asking, cause this is, I just learned this too, you know. So I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, that's, I mean, gotta balance it, right? So
I
why
don't-
don't we
but-
just be?
So for me, when I first had my kids, all we gave them was fucking milk, and they were pretty junky.
Right.
So I mean, like, for me, hearing this, they didn't give them enough of anything. It doesn't
Right.
matter whatever they were doing, they weren't giving it enough of it. It had nothing to do with just giving it milk and apple juice. If they were giving a brand new baby milk and apple juice, that should have been plenty of nutrition for that baby to develop until it was able to grow and get
Yeah.
to the next stage
We
to
also
start.
don't know, sorry.
No, you're fine. But even like baby food, like peas or carrots or whatever, I just feel like.
Did they say it was 6 weeks old? or
6 weeks.
months?
How the fuck you gonna give a baby
Yeah,
6 weeks
so that
apple
baby
juice?
should be on formula.
Right.
Right.
If anything.
Already thrown out.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
But
yeah.
formula is babies aren't necessarily supposed to drink formula either. Like formula.
Sure,
I
but
mean, they can't get
some-
some
yeah,
moms
yeah,
don't
yeah.
produce
Yeah.
milk, so they have
Yeah,
to.
but formula, I don't. In my opinion, is not good for babies. I've given all my kids formula, but just from like
That shit nasty.
further knowledge and research. Like I
You
just don't-
remember?
Yeah.
the smell of it. Yeah.
The formula, the breast milk, and all this.
Wait, what?
I-
Bro, you think breast milk is nasty?
Yeah.
It's just hot, but
It's nasty. It's got a funny taste,
I'd rather
man.
them do the breast milk than the
Yeah,
formula.
yeah, I mean, of course. No disrespect. If breast milk
Sorry.
tastes bad, that means somebody's diet fucked up.
It's just sweet and hot.
Probably.
I didn't like it.
I don't know.
I didn't like it.
It tastes like cereal milk to me.
Nah,
taste like
no,
no cereal
like no,
milk.
no, stop
When
that.
was the last
Stop
time you guys
that.
had breast milk?
It's been a while.
I would hope so.
It's since the last time I've
Can
been
you clean the
around.
fifth over there?
No.
Oh, he funny. He got a little one too.
Right, y'all got no.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about that. He probably more credit than me, so he probably know more better than I do. That's funny as fuck. I don't blame that on vegan diet. I don't think that has anything to do with veganism.
Yeah, you'll hear a lot of stories like that
Well,
where it's
well-
like, oh, it's like, well, what else was going on here, and why is this so popular when the same thing could happen with a normal diet, but we don't hear anything about that.
But why do you
so.
feel like the whole lifestyle of being vegan is like attacked so hard? Like, what's the purpose of it? Do you think it's like one of those situations where you feel like big meat companies are just like putting bullshit out there just to like kind of stop the idea of it? Because if you think about it, if people stop buying meat, like meat companies and products and shit like that, that's like a big industry in
Sure,
America.
yeah.
That's like alcohol, cigarettes. That's like
Yeah.
like fast food like chains. Like that's one of those big guys up there. So it's like.
Yeah, I don't think because something is big or popular or has been done in history is a reason to keep
No,
doing
no,
it,
no.
especially if we know better.
So is there like organic factories, like giant organic factories?
Yeah, I mean, they
Or
can
like-
call themselves organic, but a lot of these places police themselves and are not actually checked. So like you can buy organic beef, but like what does that mean? Does that mean like it was eating grass? Does that mean it was eating organic feed? And no one's policing that even. So like a lot of people buy that kind of stuff, I feel like, to make themselves feel better or feel like they're doing something better for the animal, when in reality the animal still lived the same horrific life and was still killed. So that is irrelevant to me.
So basically, our body isn't meant to process meat like that. Like we have like our small intestines are super long, like they're super long,
Right.
and they're curled up in our stomach. As we're animals, they have a lot smaller ones. So they're
Carnivores.
There you go.
Oops.
I said animals. Carnivores have smaller ones, so like the ones that eat meat and shit, and then also when they eat their meat, they chomp and swallow. They don't fucking chew.
Sure.
So it's like.
Yeah.
Like, people that are meant to, like, I'm not saying that we're not, I was talking to my manager about it, because he's like a hunter, and he's like,
I would love to talk about that.
what do you feel about that? What do you feel about the whole idea of tracking and, because the idea behind hunting, I feel like the sport, because you track the animal.
Right, exactly, it's a sport. So that's where I love to start because, okay, I was married to a hunter. Jen knew him, he was a big hunting guy. He would use all his vacation for hunting. I would help him process the animals. Like, I know a lot about hunting. And I went vegan while we were still married. And this was a conversation we had a lot. And his argument always was, we're keeping the population down. Deer are going to become overpopulated. Like, they need us to keep the population down. I call so much bullshit on that.
That sounds like somebody would say about like a black person or some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, if people really gave a shit about the population, you would just catch, spay or neuter the animal and release it. If you wanted to be kind to the animal and you want to control the population. Saying you're somehow trying to do something good. Like, don't get me wrong, I actually think hunting is better than just buying from the store. I think it's a spectrum because then you are forced to confront that you're taking an animal's life. Whereas right now, you can just walk in, it's packaged in cellophane, and you have no concept of what that animal experienced before it got to your plate.
So, if I go get me a rifle, and I go act like I'm
You go
not,
boom boom?
I go sport this, I go hunt this.
It's really hard. It's
You're
really
not gonna
hard.
look at me like as if I went and got some steaks out of the supermarket.
I think it's more respectable.
Who
If
has
you do your own
time
hunting.
who has time
I
to
can
do that
understand
though? Like,
that.
A lot of people do.
to just go hunting.
It's almost like you feel.
I grew up in Eastern Oregon, so I most of the people that I know are hunters.
Let me give you
for everything in their freezer.
No, not everything, and that's another fucking problem. Because people claim that they're like doing the right thing, and they're
then
like,
they got others.
but it's like you remove the meat that you killed, and you still could live perfectly fine off of what you bought at the store. So for me, it's just another excuse to keep killing things. I don't get down with killing
I didn't
anything.
kill anything.
You did though. You did though.
I didn't kill nothing. I said if I went my rifle, I didn't do it.
No, I mean, what do you have for dinner? I mean, like.
All right,
So, is there any type of meat that y'all eat at all?
No meat.
Zero.
Zero meat.
What do y'all substitute for the meat?
you don't have to have meat. Meat's not real protein like that.
Who said that?
Doctors and scientists. Yeah.
This is real?
Yeah,
so
bro.
real.
It's facts, buddy.
Chicken?
No.
No.
Chickens are some of the dirtiest and grossest animals. The only reason that chicken and fish are somewhat like okay is because they're leaner and your body can process them quicker than the other red meats and porks and shit like that. And they usually don't have as much sodium content and as much bullshit as the other thing. It can have as much bullshit, but it usually does not. But that's the only reason that fish and chicken are usually better is because they usually your body can process those better quicker because they're leaner. Is what I was told.
So do y'all eat fish?
I eat chicken and fish and meat. That's it. I don't eat no red meat, no pork.
I think it's also important that even if you don't, I'm never really asking people to go completely vegan. I know I'm real aggressive, like on my Facebook and my stories. I'm just trying to get people to like, oh, what is this? Like look into it.
Look into it.
But we eat so much fucking meat and animal products in this country. It's not healthy as it is in general. It would be good for everybody, even if you ate meat 2-3 times a week instead of 2-3 times a day.
Right. I agree.
That's somewhere to start.
I agree.
I can agree with that. That's for sure. That's definitely that.
Bro, but we're not supposed to eat meat like that. Like
no, it's gross.
I remember we go to this steak.
I can't help it. I have to pull up and get
so much bullshit.
I gotta get some ribs. I gotta get a burger.
Bro, the idea of thinking about pork is disgusting to me now, bro.
I don't eat.
That shit got worms in it. That shit got worms in it.
Okay. She got real facts because I did see that slaughterhouse thing with the hot dog. I don't eat hot dogs no more.
So check this out.
That shit fucked me up. So I was like, yeah, I can't fuck with a hot dog. Period. Corn dog.
You need to learn about the other stuff you eat.
I can't. I'm not gonna look. Cause I already looked for that shit. You gonna fuck my life up. My mental stability.
You can't get no Coney Island no more. None of that shit.
I'm gonna be sick. You know what I mean? But I need it for right now.
Why is that?
Because it's a drug.
That's facts though.
No, yeah, there's
That's
something
facts.
to that. There's something to that.
That's
especially
facts.
in dairy. It is quite literally addictive.
You know, milk is pus, bro, and that shit is.
Oh, here we go with that shit again.
You know why? That's why when bitches pour it on them, that's why it's white on them like that. If it was like, it's like, it usually.
What are you talking about?
Like sometimes it's like
very sexual. I don't know.
Nah, I'm not.
What kind of example is that? If you pour milk on their titties, it turns white. What? That's your argument?
No.
I don't know shit. Freak thing. Let's get it.
Wait. Whoa.
No, for real. They do allow a certain percentage of pus.
No, y'all never seen that picture. They're like,
I don't.
Bro, y'all gonna play me right now?
What does regular milk look like then? I'm like,
I don't know.
You can't see the pus.
You can't see it, but I'm saying it's thicker.
Okay, I don't know anything about that.
So like 1% milk,
right.
1% milk is not as thick as like whole milk and 2%.
True.
Sure, that's because of fat.
Right, but that also has to do, I thought, with like the dye in it. If it wasn't dyed,
I don't know.
If you go get milk straight out of a cow, is it still as thick? Is it still as like?
It's not processed though, is it? No, it's not processed.
It's not pasteurized.
Yeah. You can't drink it like that.
I mean, I grew up on a farm and we used to drink fresh goat milk, but I don't remember.
Wait, stop.
Is that as
like?
Yeah.
You squirt it and it.
I don't know shit.
No, it's not like we're like.
You're right. You milked it, and then you poured it.
Sure, yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
That's some.
Without pasteurizing it, or
that's some nasty shit.
I mean, this was the 90s, okay?
That's some nasty shit.
And I was a kid. I would do the same thing now.
How old are you?
How old am I now? I'm
Yeah.
32.
How do you think he is?
36.
Good job.
Really?
Yeah, no, but good job.
No, he just turned 40.
Okay.
Good job though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job.
You guessed high though.
No.
It was the
I
greatest.
looked into his soul and I was like,
oh damn!
Holy shit!
We're going back to the X-Men.
Right. I'm like, look, I'm touching myself like, look, oh, you went there?
I don't know if you want to come back from there.
Right. Whoa.
That's what.
What'd
I
you
wanted
see?
to drink.
Shit.
yeah, me too.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
You guys want to take a break and come back in? Is that
I'm
okay?
good with that.
Take a
That
break.
works.
I just want to get another drink.
Small face rollies. First of all, don't nobody care about y'all watches. Small face rollies.
We do.
I don't want to be in here stunned like that.
Oh my
God, throw your small face rollies up. I like blue face, small face rollies.
Hey man, I know y'all don't really comment and shit, but if y'all comment,
fuck that.
tell me so. If you was a guy, is it wrong to have a small face Apple Watch or Rolex? I think it'd be weird to have a small face. Like, I feel like
it
this.
depends on if you have a big wrist. Like my fiance's, he has a big one, and it looks better on him to have big ones.
Right,
He has big arms. He's also vegan.
I have a small face rolly right here.
Oh, hey, Ash, bro, quit.
Fresh out the. I ain't fucking with you either. I'm not finna be here. Stop. I'm going to get one today. Okay, I got y'all.
Small face rolly.
I see me again. I'm gonna have a watch on.
Watch this. You gonna have a big face rolly though, right?
You have a big face and small face. I don't know. At least he honest.
Hey, he's right. Hey, this one is cheaper.
It is.
This one is cheaper.
It is definitely cheaper.
But it was a gift though, so.
What color they gonna go?
It's not nothing wrong with his.
Small face rolly. I ain't got a big wrist though, so now. I'm
So
like,
the way it happened, he had showed it, and I was like, "Oh, do you have the big one or the small one?" He was like, "I don't know." So I was like, "Oh, let me go get mine." And
apparently I got dubs and he got 22.
I keep her clean though.
I keep her clean though. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well.
I wasn't even stunting like that, bro.
No, he wasn't. He really wasn't. But he was.
No, I was not.
He wasn't. But he was. He's not. But he is. You know, he didn't intentionally, but you are. But you are.
It made me feel bad, bro.
It made me feel worse.
I'm not that type of person whatsoever to be like, I got this. Like,
No. I am. So that was like, fuck. You feel me?
Yeah,
When it
Small face rolly, nigga. Small flexing go wrong. Small face rolly, put that little shit up.
Hey man. Hey man.
I never done it like that. I don't know. I think that's also why my Instagram game is whack, nigga. It's hard for me to like flex like material shit. The shit I flex is like I think like is like shit that like if somebody looked at it and be like, oh, that's kind of like encouraging almost. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we always talk about like material shit. That's like it's like stupid shit. You know what I mean? I started doing this. I'm gonna start doing this thing with my kids this year. Their birthday is June 17th. For their birthday each year. Until they turn 18, I'm gonna buy them a stock, whatever stock they want. Yeah, that's a good idea. So it's something that they'll actually gain value over time instead of like some dumbass toy or something like that. They can learn about it and look at it. Oh, I've already started talking to them. I was like, "You guys want to own a piece of a company?" They're like, "Yeah." It's pretty cool. It's really nice to hear them talk about that stuff. Right. I don't know, but I don't know. I just want to show them different. You know what I mean? I ain't had that shit. So hopefully, as they get older, that's what they'll want to learn about because that's what I've shown them, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go back to veganism, you know? Hey, I wanted you to ask you a question about your situation that you went through.
Oh. Okay, so.
All right, let me kind of, breathe. We gotta bleep that. Breeze was telling me a story that kind of like, I was like, damn man, that's fucked up. But then like, I was like thinking about it and I was like, I don't know. Cause her husband is also vegan.
Yeah, he is. And he's a big hulking dude. Like, all tatted up. He's a big guy.
I've met him. We all went to Vegas. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
But,
okay, so I meet this lady before, this is before a long time ago. She invites me over or whatever, and
like a lady friend.
This is just a lady.
Okay.
This is just a story I'm telling you.
Okay. I like to have the background so I know what we're talking about.
This time, it's just a story I'm telling you. So I meet this lady and
Alright, so let me cut him off. Wherever your imagination goes with this, let it take you there, okay?
I'm trying, but it's taken a while to get there.
Okay, so she invites me over for dinner and she's making enchiladas.
Okay.
She told me she was vegan, but you know me, I thought that was just vegetarian. So how stupid I was. So
that's not stupid.
I bite into the enchiladas. The first bite, I'm like, it's good. I take another bite, I'm like, it's very flavorful, but I tear it apart like worse than meat. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I don't eat meat. So that kind of caused a rift between us. Like, if there was no more, we was done.
Y'all had a fight over enchiladas.
Wait, what?
No meat enchiladas. No meat enchiladas is what it was, right?
So why?
We because she said that was the last straw for her. She couldn't deal with it.
Because you ate meat.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that like is that a vegan thing or is that like a her thing?
So-
Also?
I feel like I have a good perspective on this because I've dated and I was married to someone who wasn't vegan.
Okay.
Were you vegan
I
when you
left
with
one
them?
part out. I left one part
Oh,
out.
okay.
I left one part out. She really, really took her time and cooked this for us, and like she put thought into this, and I took those 2 bites and was, you know what I'm saying, like totally.
Even though you said it tastes good?
I said it was very flavorful. If she would have had like some ground beef or some even some shredded chicken, it would have been good. Just
So why is that? I think that's just a mental thing because I think a lot of people.
no, I couldn't eat that shit. It wasn't enough to nothing. I couldn't eat this shit no more. I was done. I can't just eat a vegetable, onions
Why?
and onions and flavor.
No, but why? You just
Because
said it was flavorful.
it was, but it was too much flavor. You know what I'm saying? I needed
What
some.
the fuck is that?
I needed something that altered the flavor. I needed some. I
Okay.
needed the meat, man. I needed to
Okay,
eat
so
some
you-
meat.
so
I
I
couldn't do
think-
it. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't eat another bite. It turned me off.
I'm gonna push you on that because I think a lot of people think that. But have you tried any meat alternatives? Because they're fucking delicious. Like,
I
listen,
never had
I'm a
meat
huge
to.
foodie. You think that all these vegans just hate food? Like, we all eat delicious food.
I've never had a reason to turn vegan.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
No.
have you tried soy curls?
I don't. So for me, I didn't know until after watching that video, but for me, I've always assumed that soy had a lot of estrogen in it. So I was like,
That's another thing.
yeah, I know it's phyto.
I never knew that. That's a good.
What does milk have in it? Milk is like a complete
Yeah, milk.
hormonal.
Milk will give you
I heard
titties.
about the milk. Yeah.
Milk will give you breast.
Like real milk? Like cow milk?
Supposedly
like
give you like
vitamin D,
hormones and
vitamin D,
shit,
yeah.
estrogen and shit.
I haven't heard that, but a lot of people will say like eating too much tofu will give you man boobs.
Well, all you cereal
It's
eaters.
all, it's all because it's
I
because
fuck
it's
with-
soy.
I
There are
watch out.
phytoestrogens in it, but
I
they don't react to our
I don't
body
eat
the
that.
same.
I don't eat that.
I did some studying before you came. I didn't just like. Sorry about that.
That's the first part. I thought I just read it now.
No, but I want to go back to you because I think that's really important to talk about. No, for real.
Watch out.
Hey,
No, what's that?
No. Because I think a lot of people are just like, oh, if it doesn't have meat in it, it's not a complete meal. And what I always say to people is like, why do you think that? Like, if you really think about that, like, why is that? It's probably because we've been told that our whole lives. So you have to stop and think about what the fuck is going on there.
Well,
Because the minute you get over that hurdle, it's like,
I took 2 bites. It was very good, those 2 bites.
okay.
But I couldn't eat anymore. I needed some substance. That was some shit that I didn't have.
So you think that vegan food has no substance? Is that what
No, I'm
the...
not saying it. I would think it had. It didn't have no substance for me.
Well, I didn't eat the meal, so I don't know how you cooked it.
It was good.
I know that everything
was
I
good.
make
That was
is
good.
completely like whole foods, plant-based. It'll fill you the fuck
All
up.
I
Like you're
know
not gonna be
is
left hungry
I
or...
wasn't left hungry, but I
There's-
just couldn't eat that. That's not what I could. I can't eat an enchilada without no meat. It just doesn't even sound right.
I don't know. For me, I've actually.
You've had cheese enchiladas though, right? Or like cheese
I
quesadillas or
have
like...
some meat in them. I put meat in everything. Everything.
You should try to cut it back a little bit.
I'm trying
He
to
wants
gain.
to,
I want
he
to
wants to
gain
gain
weight.
weight. So this motherfucker be eating a bunch of candy and a whole bunch of like. He eats like.
Wait, why though? Why?
to
I eat
gain.
oatmeal and all kind of shit.
I love oatmeal.
Yeah,
He wants to gain weight. He wants to gain
I
a
want
bunch
to
of
gain
weight.
weight.
So you
I'm
can't
trying-
eat
But
cheese or none of
that's
that
cool.
shit though, right?
That's cool.
Nah.
Yeah. Lots of people gain
See,
weight
that's
on
what
a
I'm
vegan
saying.
diet. There are so many
What
fat
can you
vegans out there.
eat?
You can eat. There's a lot of stuff, bro. A lot of vegetables. Everything
'Cause
will be made out of vegetables and
my
fruit.
my
And
BM
beans.
is it, she tried to have my daughter do that shit, right? So I'm going to different restaurants and shit. vegan restaurants. That shit is. I'm ordering the real vegan, the deal. It's from these places, and I'm like, hey. I can eat the salad. I eat the salad.
Is that what you think vegans eat, salad?
No,
That
that's
shit
what
pisses me off when people say that.
I can eat the salad. Is what I said. I can eat the salad, but as far as like the meals, that's what I'm saying. Like what?
I don't think I
what
can
else
do vegan.
is-
I think I can go vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
corn,
What's the
right?
difference?
So vegetarian and vegan. So vegan, there's absolutely no animal products whatsoever.
Right, no
Like nothing,
egg,
no.
no dairy, no
So-
gelatin, no.
Oh, you don't eat. I mean, you don't drink milk or none of that.
So like even that
So you don't eat
can't.
cereal?
Well, there's
Almond
like 15
Oat
different
milk.
plant milks out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, vegetarian.
I eat vegetarians. They still eat cheese. They just don't eat like meat.
It's just meat. Yeah.
So could
And
a
gelatin.
vegetarian eat do your stuff also? Like
But I
drink
have,
your plant based stuff that you
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, they can, but you're not vegan unless you cut out
What's the
all
di-
animal products.
what's the difference between plant-based and vegan?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all.
So
yeah,
that's a really good distinction to make. Plant-based is not necessarily vegan. You can be mostly plant-based and still eat a little bit of meat. It's mostly a health thing, whereas veganism is more of an ethical thing. I'm pretty much both. Like I eat completely plant-based, but I'm also ethical about the choices that I make. Does that make sense?
Somewhat.
Veganism is definitely an ethical stance. Like when people hear the word vegan, they think a lot of different things,
I
right?
thought vegetarian until today, to be honest with you. I didn't know the difference.
No.
I thought it was,
see, I
Yeah, so
never-
I don't
I thought it
eat.
was just a different name for them, to be honest with you.
No, it's sort of a step. It's like you're either, regular diet that most people eat. Then the step up is
And so is your
Pescatarian.
diet more expensive?
no, I wouldn't say so. That's another thing that a lot of people like to
See,
say.
I don't know if I agree with that
So your
part
milk
because
is not expensive.
No, anything's expensive if you do it the wrong way. If you're buying all vegan alternatives like vegan meats and vegan cheeses, it can be because those things are still a little bit more expensive just because of supply and demand. But I don't buy a lot of that kind of stuff. Like I buy mostly whole foods like canned beans, vegetables, legumes, oats. It's super cheap. I mean, it's poor people food. It's rice and beans.
so for me, I kind of disagree because when we went on our little health thing, I eat shit ton of fruit, and we had to buy I spent like $70-80 on fruit alone, easy maybe.
For to get
Yeah,
you there.
but like
And then
anything's expensive if you.
And then on top of it, every meal we have a salad in it, and it's not like a fancy salad. We do like mixed greens or 50-50 or something like that, or like a spinach blend or something like that. And we'll always put carrots, cucumbers, some croutons, and then it'll be lightly dressed. It's not like sauce, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we'll have that, and we'll probably have to get like that like every other week or something like that. Every 4 days. So
Yeah.
so with that, and on top of the fruit alone, that's instead of me going and getting me some Hot Pockets, some.
Well, yeah, sure, but that stuff is so disgusting and
No,
bad.
but
Yeah,
we were
that
just
myself.
distinctly talking about cost though.
Sure.
So for me, I
But
just
that's because
disagree.
it's-
From my experience, that shit definitely costs a lot more for me just to buy. And then on top of it, there's been times where we ended up not eating it because, say, we go out to dinner or we go out somewhere and we don't end up eating it for a couple of days and shit ended up going bad, and so we have to throw it away. We can't like take it bad, and you know what I mean. So for me, it really is more like a lifestyle thing. If you're doing it just for like the shits and giggles of like, ooh, I'm eating a salad, it's gonna fucking hurt your pocket. But like, I don't know. For me, it definitely costs more money.
I mean, that's not been my experience. It's been cheaper for me. But you're also not fully vegan, so I
No.
don't feel like it's fair to for you to even say it.
No, but-
because you're still buying. Like,
No, but see, check this out. I got the plug though, so I don't gotta spend a bunch of money on most of my groceries. Like most of my money I spend is on the fruit, the salad, stuff like that. A lot of the stuff that I get from my work because I work at distribution center where they ship to a lot of grocery stores. So a lot of
Yeah,
my
Jason works for McDonald's, so.
so yeah, so I get a lot of chicken and I get a lot of like packaged things. So like I pay for that, and that's most of my stuff comes from there. And then only thing I really buy is my produce, but that's still a couple $100, like every 2 weeks or every month or whatever.
Yeah, we don't spend that much.
No,
No.
maybe
We probably spend
like I
like
alone get
$90 a week on groceries for 2 people. And he's like 250 pounds. He's like a big guy. So
I think the difference though is that he's a sweets person and he likes candy, so he replaced that with fruit.
yeah.
So he eats fruit.
so I can eat like four
That's
four
great,
watermelons
though.
a week. Like no, 2 watermelons, 4
Four
pineapples.
pineapples.
Yeah, and like
At least every other
Yeah,
day.
see, I don't eat like that. So I might eat a couple pieces of fruit
I
a
be
day.
fucking shit
I,
up.
I eat all that.
But
plus
like
the
it's
shit
like
I
with
eat.
anything, like if you're gonna buy a lot of anything, it's gonna be more expensive, and you would probably spend more on just you than I would on me because you're a bigger
Yeah.
dude. So
It'd be rough out here, and then sometimes I go days without fruit, and I'd be all depressed and shit. It's like
no,
it's almost
but
like I'm
you really
addicted.
should be replacing candy with fruit. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
And then like the candy I do get is like dry fruit, and then I'll get like some shit from Trader Joe's. I'll fuck around and get something from the vending machine depending on like how bad my munchies is or something like that. But I usually try to stay away from bullshit like that.
That's good.
I lost a lot of weight doing it that way too.
Yeah.
So.